Well, hello and welcome to the Brand Breakthrough Show, the Breakthrough Show. We're just going straight in with the breakthroughs today. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is your weekly half an hour of power where we dive straight in to a topic and we look at how you can really expand on what you're doing now and take it further forward, faster, in a more accelerated way so you get the results that you want. So I am here today joined by Wendy Watkins.
Yay! Hi everybody! Welcome to the show.
So Wendy is over from Atlanta. Whoa, hello. Didn't want to do that. Yeah, we wanted to get Lubna in here. So how do we get rid of this? Where is Lubna? Just give us a second, because we are going to bring Lubna Zorro in this today as well. So I'm going to tag Lubna in. There we go. Fabulous. Okay, so how do I get rid of that? Right, you're just about to go on a journey with me. This is I love technology and technology loves me moment. How do we get there? We go. Darian, hello.
They probably saw us.
Diana, hello. Awesome. Right, so we are here live in Manchester this time. We've just been in London for a weekend. Wendy has flown over from Atlanta and has been with us for the Brand Builders Club Members Day in London Heathrow, and is going to be flying over to Holland and delivering the Holland event. Wendy is the awesome author behind The Joy Factor. This is all about creating that delicious recipe for you in your life, your business, your relationships. This is a brilliant book, right? Nadine, hello, coming in from Jamaica. We got Diana on the call all the way from Florida. I believe Darian is in Orlando, Lubna's in the Netherlands. So hello. We've got an excellent topic today, and the reason why I wanted Wendy to be involved in this conversation is because we've just spent 2 full-on days at an event that we developed with Chris Williams and Martha Hanlon called Show Me the Money. And
quite an event.
Quite an event. We held a marketplace yesterday where, what did we have? We had 16 entrepreneurs, was it, in the room? And by the end of the day, over £6,000 worth of business had been exchanged in the room, and that is continuing. That still continues because of the relationships that were built in the room. So Diana's in Ohio right now. Awesome. Say hello to Ohio for us where you are. So yeah, we've just spent 2 days at Show Me the Money. We're delivering it in Holland at the end of the year as well, and in other parts of America. We're going to do it in Atlanta.
I think so. Yeah, we're going to bring it to Atlanta.
We are bringing it to Atlanta in October, I believe. It's September or October.
Yeah,
so
end of September actually is what we talked about.
Yeah, so look out for that and make sure that you definitely get your backside on that. But some of the questions that came up from that were really profound questions, and of course we didn't get a chance to answer them all in the room. And when we left the room, we were like, wouldn't it be good if we could add this and this? Like, no, you can't add that into 2 days. You just can't do that. Yeah. So follow-up is a really key thing. Hi, Barbara. And so we thought we'd do a little follow-up today. Even if you weren't at the event, there's still the question around sales that we get all the time, which is, when somebody that you know really needs what you provide, hi Madeline, and they just aren't saying yes to you, or they're just not stepping over the line, they're just not committed to you. How do you keep that engagement going so that they don't go and find that somewhere else? Hi Louise. Louise is my cousin. Everybody say hello to my cousin Louise. She has an amazing cake business. It's great to see you on the call today, Lou. I don't think we've seen you on one of these shows yet, so it's awesome for you to join us. Look, no, Show Me the Money Live is an event you don't want to miss, for sure. You do not want to miss that. So yeah, how do you, because it's one thing in the room talking about how you get the sale and having the sales conversation, and we did a lot of that. Wendy did all the mindset stuff, which was brilliant, because it's one thing to go in there to make the sale, but it's another thing for you to be set up yourself to not only be ready for that and that call or that webinar or live stream. If there's going to be some kind of call to action at the end of it, it can leave you like that feeling.
Yes.
And but once you've got off the phone and that person hasn't quite said yes to you yet, what do you do then? That is an awesome question you are addressing. Awesome. Hi, Emerson. So yeah, we wanted to do a bit of stuff on that for you in today's Brand Breakthrough show, because there's so many of you that maybe have had sales conversations with people in the past, and their business card might still be on your desk or in your pocket, or tucked away in a drawer somewhere, in a shoebox. Could be on an Excel document, or they could even be in your database right now, and you just haven't followed up with them because you're not quite sure what to say next. And you must hear this quite a bit with the people that have those limiting beliefs around, how do I really take the success that I've already got, but I'm capped here. What are some of the things that you'd say about that?
Yeah.
You must see it all the time.
Well, the first thing that popped into my mind when you asked that is to remember that the sales conversation is really not about you. Right? We take it where we think it's all about us, and when it becomes all about us, that's when the mind starts going and could swirl down into that negative. Whatever it is, why are they going to buy from me? I'm not good enough. I'm not good at sales. All of those things. So the first thing you can do is remember that it's really not about you. It's all about your customer, right? So to do whatever you can to get over there with them and build that relationship.
Yeah.
To get as curious as you can get, ask the right questions, listen, and then be able to follow up with the next question. But that first piece of remembering, it's not about you. They already want you. They're having the conversation with you.
Right. And they wouldn't be if they didn't.
Absolutely. So you got to remember, they're already interested. So get out of the picture and get over there with your client.
Yeah. So if you, how many of you, if you could give us a thumbs up, hi Wilma, how many of you on here right now have ever had a sales conversation with someone and then come off of that call and felt completely unsatisfied? Like you get off the call and either you're unsatisfied because you didn't make the sale, or you're unsatisfied because you think I could have answered that better, or you're unsatisfied because you think, oh, I know that they really need it, but they're saying no. right, so we've got some thumbs ups that are, okay, so right, and you're not alone.
Right.
You are not alone.
Definitely.
All right, and that's a really good piece of feedback that Wendy's just giving you. Is maybe one of the reasons why that didn't happen was because you didn't step into their world enough. So you did an exercise with everybody at Show Me the Money a few days ago, where it was all about 2 eyes, 2 ears, and 1 mouth.
Yes.
Can you tell, for those of you that weren't at the event, if we could touch on that a tiny little bit?
Yes. I call it the 2-2-1 philosophy, right? And what we have is, and a mentor shared this with me, one of my first mentors when it came to sales, and he said to me, Wendy, you have 2 ears, 2 eyes, and 1 mouth. Act accordingly. And that was a big aha, because I was finding that I was verbally vomiting what I thought was the reasons why the customers wanted to buy my product, why I thought they should. It's not about me. It's not about you. So if you can use your eyes and ears, ask the questions, and then really listen what they're saying. Not thinking about what you're going to be saying next, but really listening and feeling in to the words. Maybe even listening between the words. Right?
That's really good. In terms of this follow-up conversation.
Yes, absolutely.
Even more so in terms of this follow-up conversation. Andrew, hello, it's so good to see you. Congratulations. Everybody give Andrew a congratulations. His gorgeous daughter got married. I was going through all the photos. You look stunning, Andrew. Your daughter looks stunning. Diane looked beautiful. Dan, like the whole family looked gorgeous. So I might not be in touch with you all very often, but seriously, Mama Bear is always watching and I see everything that is going on. So when it comes to that conversation, if they haven't said, oh, it's amazing. If they haven't said yes straight away, is to still operate that 2-to-1 philosophy. So you didn't get that sale. So that you might have, if you've been able to turn it around, said to them, well, do you know, like I had a conversation with a lady literally about 2 hours ago who requested to join the Brand Builders Club group. we responded and said, oh, tell us about your business. We'd love to know more, because obviously it's a paid for membership at the Brand Builders Club. So we don't accept it, but we get a lot of people requesting to join. So it's still a sales conversation. And if you've got a group, a Facebook group or a LinkedIn group, or you're part of something, even a meetup group, if you've got any kind of group and you've got people that are requesting to join it and it's a paid for subscription, don't just delete them or say no, right? Keep the conversation going. And again, it's the 2 ears and 1 mouth. So the conversation, the response is, oh my gosh, tell me about your business. I'd love to know more about that. That's all it is. Hello, would love to find out more about you. Tell me about your business. Being curious, as Wendy just said. So this lady, I'm not going to mention her name, this lady came back to me with all this stuff about her business, and I went back, wow, I'd love to find out even more about that. Are you available in like 15 minutes for us to jump on Zoom so that I can see, if there's someone I can connect you with, or how can I help you? She said, absolutely. And she said, let's go. So we had a Zoom call, and this conversation started pretty much straight away. Every conversation was, every sentence I said was all about her. And so that there was nothing about what we did. There were all these qualifying questions around her, and those questions will be different for you all the time. But again, just listening to those what they're saying. Now, the Brand Builders Club membership wasn't right for her right now. And it's really, what you'll find is if you've got something and it's not right for that person at that time, don't continue trying to sell it, because you'll come off that call feeling icky. They'll come off that call feeling icky. And now you've just brandalized your business, because now there's a feeling, and remembering what brand is really about, right? Your branding is your trust mark. It's your sorting device. It's, what people see and they associate with everything that's underneath it, which means your brand is trust. Your brand is what that sorting device sits on. So when you build that relationship and you're really stepping into their world, seriously, you can't really go wrong, because at the very worst, they have felt heard. They've felt like you've listened to them. And that has to keep going, doesn't it? Yes. Even if they've said no, even if there's like another conversation to be had. So I said, well, let's see where you're at in a month's time. Would it be of value to you if we got in touch in a month, and let's see where you're at then? I'd love that. And we got a date in the diary straight away. But what do you do in between that meeting? That's really where we want to get to, isn't it? Let's assume you've got that next step, and all is not lost. You've got that next step. So Wendy, what are some of the things you'd recommend to do in between that keep the 2-to-1 principle going?
Yes.
Between
So there are 2 things I'd like to answer that with. One on the personal side, the mindset, and then on the professional,
Beautiful.
What is the inspired action,
Yeah.
right? Because they go together. So first is knowing if this is someone that you feel is your ideal client and someone you really want to work with, start that visualization process, right? See yourself connecting with that person. Feel what it's going to be like to when you hear that yes, and then you're able to partner together and fulfill that person's needs and help them move. So that's the first place. Then professionally, it's staying in touch with them, right? It's getting on their Facebook page, making sure you're connected as friends, commenting on things that they're posting, maybe even sharing something that when you were talking and they expressed a challenge or frustration they were having, find a resource or share something with them that adds benefit to their life in between. You don't have to write a blog post. It could just be a quote that you find that you can say, I saw this quote and thought it would be helpful for you. Then you're building a relationship.
You're actively participating in the relationship.
Yes, because it's all about building relationship, right? Marketing, when in that place until you get to the sales, is building relationship. Sales is fulfilling the need. So maybe they're not feeling the pain deep enough yet, or they're still getting to the place of learning to receive the help that they want. But it's up to us to you've planted a seed in that first conversation. Think about how you want to water that seed and staying in connection, because that's when it's going to blossom, right?
Yeah, completely.
Yeah.
And then when you get to that next call, you do the same process again.
Yes.
It's sifting and sorting, as Andrew just said, and you just said so beautifully, putting that seed in, how are you going to water it? And so often, people are so keen to just go straight in for getting married on a first date when there isn't even a date in the diary yet. They don't even know who you are, right? And so, watering that, it could just be, just reaching out. It could be you showing up in their universe. It could be someone recommending you and they're like, I keep hearing that name.
Yep.
I must do something about it. Or I spoke to someone about you the other day, or I was talking to someone the other day and they mentioned you, and then I heard you from someone else, and then from someone else. So who else do they have in their network? Who do you have in common? Also look at that as well, which you can easily do through Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter. You can see who you're connected to and through in that universe. So also maybe sometimes there's an opportunity to reach out to that person and say, I'd love to work with this person. Is there a way that maybe you could endorse what we do, or could you reach out to them and find out how they're getting on? There's ways that you can do that. And the other thing is to consider as well, when we were doing Show Me the Money at the weekend, one of the things that I found really powerful was that I'd created, and I don't know, some of you haven't even seen this yet, so you haven't seen the one drops. So if you've heard my story about the one drop, I'm not going to go into that right now, but we've been making one drops over in France, and we've got to a point where we've got like the perfect format. We've created that. My mum has handmade the molds for them. And so we're going to be making them clear. We've decided we're going to go for a universal one drop so that everybody wears them, is part of one drop and is the drop. And whilst thinking about it, while we were doing Show Me the Money, and I was like, okay, so I could sell these individually, one by one, or I could go to the key decision makers who have communities who would love to be part of One Drop, who would love to have all of their members wear this, so that everyone, all of us, are connected. Because let's face it, like, we've all got connected communities now, right? I've got people in my community. Now you stood on our stages. Yes. Those people are going to be in your communities. Yes. And so everybody, and it's like, how do we create one unified, really elegant thing that's like, oh, you're part of One Drop. And so I was thinking, how could I do that? And that is the same for you. So how can you reach your ideal clients in a faster way with that endorsement already sewn in to the fabric of that brand conversation? Who do you know that is a key influencer that can already make that leap, that has already built that trust by recommending you, endorsing you? And it's a fast way to do that. And you were talking to some other people about that when we were in the room.
Yeah. Being able to make those connections. And it's really just, people want to help, right? If someone asks you for help, aren't you like, yes, what can I do? So when we can ask for support from our existing raving fans or connections, it makes a huge difference. People are happy to support. There are many times when I'm talking to a potential client and I can feel that's stuck and they need something. I may even ask them, would it be helpful if you talk to a past client? Right? Or a present client. And I have my posse there, people that I know that I can connect, and they'll automatically have a conversation with them. So then they get to ask questions from their experience with me as a mindset coach, right? So that is super helpful if you're willing to do that. But the worst thing you can do is not water the seed in some way. You can't get it wrong. Any attention that you give, whether it's sending an email, a follow-up, a quote, whatever it is, if you're a gardener, and I love to garden, the worst thing you can do is put the seed in the ground and not water it.
Yeah.
Right?
Or let someone else come and peck it away.
Yes. So it's just having a little plan for yourself. I like using a spreadsheet, 5 to 7 ways that I'm going to touch that.
I like that
potential client. And the 5 ways that I look at are, so I have the phone call, then there's an email, a handwritten note, an email with a resource, whether it's an article I wrote or someone else wrote that I drop to them, and then maybe even making a connection, or the best is inviting them to an event that you're going to that's going to benefit. I know one that may be good. Maybe like a Thinkubator would be a good event.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And that's just, they
good
see
idea.
value, right?
Good
All
idea.
of a sudden they're like, wow, this person cares about me and my business. That is very important. So having your ways, discover what your 5 to 7 touches are, and have a plan for it so that you can continue to do that.
I love that.
Yeah.
I really love that. And
Yeah.
people, when you do that, they're like, me? You were thinking of me?
Yes.
And it's such a nice little, it's
Absolutely.
a heartbeat, isn't it? It's a heartbeat. You know, we refer to touch points in the marketing industry. But really, when you turn those touch points into heartbeats, that's where the connection is really made. And there's 2 things in Wendy's book that I really, really love that I want to share with you, and I hadn't marked them, so I've marked it with a pen. So for those of you that don't have Wendy's book yet, it's called The Joy Factor, and it's a recipe book, the Joy Factor recipe book, a common sense approach to a delicious life. And there are brilliant quotes in here. And there's 2 of them that you've put in here that I want to read out, because they really tie into beautifully what Wendy really does, and one of the other things that she's doing while she's over in the UK and the Netherlands that I really want you to share while you're here. So the first thing that I really love is a quote which you've put in here by Pablo Casals.
Yes.
The truly important things in life, love, beauty, and one's own uniqueness, are constantly being overlooked. That could be said for us, but isn't that true of our customers?
Oh, yes.
We're so busy trying to sell them the solution that we overlook where the beauty is that they actually want.
Yes.
The things that they actually want.
Yes. When you can touch base on what they want, forget about what you want, that's when the magic starts to happen.
Yeah, and that's all about authentic expression in this particular chapter in the book. And so the other one that I really like is, you are unique, and if that is not fulfilled, then something has been lost, by Martha Graham. So let's think about that in terms of being a brand. You're unique, but there are elements of your business that you might not be focusing on enough, the things that really give you joy, the things that really do give you that fulfillment. And chasing sales might not be the thing that fulfills you. So what do you do if that's not? And you're a business owner and you've got to make sales.
Yeah. Well, the first thing you do is reframe that. I mean, when you said that, do you like I don't like chasing
but
sales.
But I hear it all the time.
Yes.
I don't want to be chasing sales.
Yes,
It's like they've got to pull a rabbit out of the hat every month.
Yes. So the first thing to do is just reframe that, right? You're not chasing sales. You're connecting with people where you can fulfill a need. And if your product fulfills their need, then shame on you if you don't ask them for the sale, right? You got to ask them. That's the only way they're going to get it.
Yeah.
So remembering that, one, for you to be fulfilled is key. And this is where the personal development piece comes in as an entrepreneur. So you have to make sure your fountain is full, that you're aligned with what brings you passion in your life. Yes, I know your business brings you passion, but there are other things. And so often entrepreneurs, it just becomes all business all the time, and you forget about the joy of gardening or creating art or taking a walk or having a conversation with a girlfriend. Those things have to be woven in. That is what's going to raise your vibration, right? That's what's going to give you energy so that when you are ready to reach out and build those relationships and fulfill needs. That's what sales and marketing is to me. Building relationships and fulfilling needs.
Yeah.
That's the mindset shift. Don't think about sales. Think about that you are giving your potential clients something that's going to help them live the life they love. That's it. So do what it takes to keep your light shining bright, and then listen to what their challenge is, show them how you can overcome it. You know, it's really quite easy.
It is. It really
But we
is.
just get in our own way with thinking, oh, I don't want to be salesy. The more you think about, I don't want to be salesy, guess what's going to happen?
Yes.
You're going to be salesy.
Deception is projection.
Yes, so
You'll project that.
shift it back, fulfilling
Angie.
needs, creating connections. Hey, Angie girl. That's where you want to go with this.
Yeah, you really do. And mindset is an enormous part of this.
Yes.
And you know, I meet so many entrepreneurs. Well, you only have to get on the tube in London and nobody is smiling.
Yes. Yeah.
Or you go to a networking event, everyone's wearing black. I'm like, what is that about?
Yeah.
It's almost like it's a got to the get to. They don't even, I've got to do this so that I can get to this particular, financial goal or something. That's not a nice environment to be in, is it?
Not at all. What do you want to do, right? And then do that.
And be that lighthouse.
Be the lighthouse.
So that other people gravitate towards you. And what are some of the other things that you find for business owners and entrepreneurs who we're having to make sales, we're the cleaner of the office, we're sending invoices out, you're wearing all of these hats constantly. And that can really decrease the joy factor, can't it?
Yeah.
What are some of the things that people can do to raise that vibration?
Yeah. Well, being in touch with what your passions are, like we just mentioned, authentic expression, but really the self-care piece falls in here. And one of the strongest pieces of self-care, like we always think, self-care, let me drink more water, let me eat, let me move. How about the boundaries you set for yourself? That is huge self-care. Huge. So if you are juggling all these things, which we all are, it's about how you set up your calendar, really. The best you can. Do your admin stuff on one day. I have what I call Money Mondays, right? And on those days is all my admin stuff.
Who else likes Money Mondays?
Right?
That's brilliant.
And I do it on a Monday, and I could be more casual. I don't have to get dressed because I'm not fulfilling and seeing clients. I get those things done. And then when I'm fulfilling on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I don't have to worry about doing an invoice or making the call or doing this because that's your fulfillment days. And then I have follow-up Fridays, where anything that I wasn't able to complete during the week, I wrap it up on Fridays. If it needs to be pushed to the next week, so be it. But boundaries are key. Just in what are your office hours, we can work all the time.
Yes.
All the time. But I don't think you got into business to work all the time, right? So why not have office hours? And you get to choose them, right? If you want to work from 8 to 3, that's your day. If you want to work from 12 to 7, that's your day.
Yeah.
But those things raise your joy factor because you're doing it the way you want to. Why you got into business in the first place? Let go of those shoulds of what you think you should be doing. That will raise your vibration. That will have you enjoy it a whole lot more.
I love it. I love it. And for those of you that are going to be in the Netherlands next weekend, so we're going to be, I think, is it the 5th and the 6th? We've got the Brand Builders Club Day, and then on the 7th, what we're going to do is the mastermind that we do the day after the Brand Builders Club Members Days, the mastermind, we're going to bring that forward a few hours. So usually we meet at 11, we're going to make that 9 a.m. so that we're finished by 12. So we've got the 3-hour mastermind in the Netherlands on Sunday the 7th. Going to go to lunch, come back, and then Wendy and Lubna
let's bring Lubna in.
Yeah,
Can
let's
we
bring
bring her
Lubna in. So Wendy and Lubna are bringing their light. Seriously, they've got an amazing event that they're running in the afternoon for Brand Builders Club members and their friends to get involved and do some awesome stuff.
Hello!
Where are you right now?
At Schiphol Airport, all of the trains are delayed, so I'm hoping to get on a train.
Excellent. But Lubna, it's been so wonderful spending the weekend with you, and you're on your way home now. So in a couple of weeks, you and Wendy are delivering a fabulous workshop. So tell us about that. It's a 4-hour workshop, right?
Yes. Imagine having 2 global happiness experts in one room for 4 hours, dedicated to supporting you in your success. How would that feel like, be like?
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, we're losing you.
She's freezing a little.
Oh, Lubna, I think we're going to... Sorry, Lubna. You here with Wendy. So Wendy, tell us about the we've got lots of smiley faces. Tell us about this event, because we wanted to bring Lubna on so that you could see Lubna, and you're both running it together, right? How did it come about?
Well, as I've been playing with the brand builders and working with you all, I've been watching what everybody's up to, as we all watch, right? And noticing that Lubna and I speak the same language, right? Here we are across the world from each other, but we're both committed to helping people have more joy and happiness in their life, and knowing that that's what impacts their productivity, their engagement, their results.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So that is a key piece. So I said, I'm going to be in Holland. What do you think about pulling a little workshop together? So we have taken, we sat down and we chatted. We are so aligned with the areas that we feel are important for you to know. And so we've put together, I believe we called it the joy of success, the joyful path to success. And we're looking at giving you tools to when you immediately impact them, you will immediately see the results that you want in your life.
Love it.
Where you move from feeling overwhelmed with your tasks and underwhelmed with the results, you'll have tools, tips, and resources to raise your level of happiness so you get more things done and enjoy it. Like you wake up excited about doing what you want to do. And when your light is shining brighter, guess what? You attract more ideal clients.
Yeah.
It just works that way, right? When your vibration is higher, that's what happens. So we're going to spend 4 hours together giving you the tips, tools, and resources to do that.
I love that.
Me too.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah.
So if you are in the Netherlands next weekend on Sunday, the 7th of July, make sure that you come along. And if you can't be there, please share it with other people that you know are in the area that would love that. Lubna, perhaps you could put the link there for us. I know there's an Eventbrite link that you've set up so that people can come along and join you for that.
Yes.
And for those of you in the Brand Builders Club that are coming to the event anyway, it just makes sense to, stay.
Yes,
Have
please
lunch
do.
and stay for the rest of the afternoon. And, because one of the things that we're doing at Brand Builders at the Members Day in June specifically is really all about raising that, your impact, making a much bigger impact and raising the income that follows that impact.
Yes.
However, there's a mindset shift that also needs to be brought in to that. Having strategies and a plan to go out there and do it is very different to, I'm now sat in front of my phone and I need to prepare myself for making that call, or for hitting that go live button, or for going live on that webinar, or for going and standing on stage. And what I love about the strategies and the tips that Lubna and Wendy have brought together for you is that it really is raising your joy factor so you can walk on stage like I did in America. I walked on stage singing as I walked on stage. Wendy walked on stage a couple of days ago singing.
Where that came from, I don't know. I don't really know how to sing. But, it
But
does.
your joy, it's
Yes.
like, but when you're singing, everyone's like, what's that?
Yeah.
They want to be a part of
Yeah.
that. And so let's make sure that your brand is singing to the world in a bigger way. I highly, highly recommend that if you can join these two wow women.
Yeah, and when we're talking about, just bringing it back to what we're talking about, challenging sales and overcoming, joy is a key piece, right? Because when you have joy and optimism, that hopefulness and confidence that things are going to work out, that is imperative. That's going to help you pick up the phone to make that call. Because if you're thinking that, well, they're not going to hire me anyway, your light is, they won't hire you anyway because they're feeling like, why
You're
I like this
projecting.
person, right? So having more joy is just as important as having that strategic plan, the actions, all of that. They all come
And you
together.
talked about that yesterday, actually, when you were on stage yesterday. You talked about how we have these plans for everything else, but we don't have a joy plan.
No, we don't. There's no strategy for joy. And some of you do. I know you do. But some of you don't, and a lot of us don't.
Yeah.
We see it in the world. Look around you, right? The raise in depression, anxiety, and suicide. It's sad.
Well, and that's actually very telling, isn't it? It's like you can feel like you're a joyful person, but if the results that you're getting aren't demonstrating what you think, then something needs to change.
Yeah. And with that said, the results, definitely, that's your evidence.
Yes.
But also know that just because you may not be depressed or anxious doesn't mean that you're optimistic and positive. So it's just another learned skill. This is a learned skill, just like everything else you're learning
Building
as
the
an
muscle.
entrepreneur, right? And being an entrepreneur is the biggest personal development class you're ever going to take, right? I don't know about
Right,
you, but
yeah.
it brings up
Deep
a
dive.
lot for me. So, and it's having the tools to be able to deal with it. I talk about joy as CPR for our business. When you have joy and happiness, you have confidence, you have positivity, and you have resilience, which means you're going to bounce back faster because there are going to be days that aren't good days.
Right.
So these tools will help you bounce back faster so you get back out there and share your gifts.
Love it.
Yeah.
Love it, love it, love it. So yes, we'll make sure if Lubna can post the link in the comments below. When you have the link, please do that. And if you've got any questions for Wendy or Lubna about that and how you can incorporate it into your business, please ask. Because if you don't ask, you've got 100% opportunity of not getting that, right? You're not going to get it. And the other thing is, could you live stream it? Could you, if people sign up to it, but they're in other parts of the world, is there an opportunity to live stream it? Because you're going to be going live at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, Netherlands time. So that's midday in the UK, which means that is 7 a.m. on East Coast. So if you want to join in on that, I'm sure we could do what we did at Show Me the Money.
Yeah.
You could still buy a ticket and then still have access to it. So you're still getting access to the content, which means you don't have to wait until they run it physically in your area. So that could be an idea.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let us figure that one out. I think
Yeah.
it seems so simple when you did
It
it,
is.
so I think
Yeah,
we could
it
do
is
that.
really simple.
Absolutely.
As long as you've got internet, and we know that the Witterbergen in the Netherlands has that because we've been running our events there for about 9 months now. So we know that it has all the facilities to do that. So if you're interested, don't let it stop you that you're not going to be in the Netherlands. Still reach out and we'll live stream it for you so you get access to that. But you will need to be a part of a separate group that Wendy and Lubna are going to create so that you get access to that live stream.
Yes.
And then you can ask questions as you go through, and one of us will monitor the live stream and ask Wendy or Lubna at a time that works, and so you'll get your answers. So don't wait to make that success a reality for you. It can happen for you straight away. So I'm really awesomely glad that you got to have this conversation live
too.
in my house in Manchester today.
I know, it's so great. It's so great.
It's brilliant, and I really encourage you to increase that joy factor in your business today. Even if you don't feel like you know how to, watch the replay and get some of the strategies that Wendy has shared today. And just do it. Like, just imagine that for the next 2 hours, right? So we're on a timeline. You're watching us right now. For the next 2 hours, do one thing that massively increases your joy factor and reach out to, here's a challenge for you, reach out to 5 people who you've spoken to about doing business together, whether that's yesterday, in the last week, in the last year, or 10 years, and you haven't reached out to them for a long time. Increase that joy factor, reach out to 5 people and say, saw this and thought of you. And just go and find something that you know they will like, because what that'll do is that will increase their joy factor as well. Pay it forward.
Yes.
Be the drop.
Yes.
Be that one drop. Create a ripple effect. Because doing that, you never know how terrible their day might be. We've delivered these shows before where I've thought, my hair isn't done, I haven't got makeup on, I'm really not in the mood, something could have brought my joy factor down. Hi, Alethea. And I've thought, I should just cancel the show today. And then I thought, no, even if there's one person on here, I'm still going to do it. I've delivered the show. I've had loads of people on the show, and at least one person has said, I needed to hear that today. So every time you don't show up, you remove the power of somebody else who, by you showing up, gave them permission to show up too. And so you just being in your power, you just being that lighthouse and showing up, even when you don't feel like it, like raise your joy factor, because that goes on to change their day. And when their day is changed, everyone around them, also their day is impacted by that. So be that drop. Be the drop you want to see in the world. Raise your joy factor. And I'll make sure, if you're on our email list, I'll make sure you know about Wendy and Lubna's event, so you can go and book onto that. And be the change that you want to see in the world. So take care. I'll see you on the show this time next week, same time, same place. We'll be in the How to Build a Brand group, and have an amazing day. Anything you want to finish on, Wendy?
No, just I love the challenge that you said. So yeah, be the joy you want to see. There you go.
Yeah, I like it. Be the joy you want to see in the world. Take care. If you've just joined us, go back, watch the replay. Some great strategies in here. If you didn't have time to write them down, go back, re-watch it, put them in your journal, and get in touch with 5 people. Go and make a difference to 5 people right now. Sending you big love. Mwah. And for those of you in the Brand Builders Club, we'll see you in the Brand Builders group.
Yes.
See you next week.
Bye.